We will now be taking a look at the drawing ground. The drawing ground is only seen in one chapter in Outlast Whistleblower, and that is, of course, the drawing ground chapter. And so, yeah, the drawing ground is to the left-hand kind of back corner of the complex. And so that means it is going to be to the left-hand side of, to the left of the prison block and behind the male ward. And of course, it also kind of contains the two vocational blocks. And so it basically just kind of takes up all of the area in between all of these sections. And so, yeah, it's basically another kind of outdoor area, much like we've seen with some of the other outdoor spaces like the courtyard and the recreation area, which basically just kind of separate all the different areas. And the drawing ground is no exception. So that rule basically just, again, separates all these different areas. So you have all these separate little buildings here. But other than that, it doesn't really serve much purpose outside of that. It does contain a couple of important features, though, which I will mention once we actually get to them. And so, yeah, again, just another kind of outdoor space here. And so I think we're going to start with this back corner right over here, which is actually where the drawing ground starts. So the way we're actually going to go through this is much like the actual story, as you kind of start out towards the front and you work your way more towards the back, and then to the vocational block. And so yeah, this is how Waylon actually accesses the drawing ground, is through this hallway here that connects the prison block, male ward, and vocational block. And so yeah, just one of the windows here. He actually is on the second floor here, but there is this tool shed here that does kind of butt up against this actual hallway here. And so it's kind of in between the hallway and vocational block here. And so, yeah, just a one-story structure here. And so it's going to be your standard, again, tool shed. So workbench with, again, this is where your actual tools will be. It's escaping me what's actually called just a rack that contains all the different tools. Lockers, sinks here. And then just some other stuff. Again, this is kind of being used for storage as well. So just propane tanks, some pipes here. Yeah, propane tanks. And so, yeah, pretty nondescript. Just a lot of wood here on the walls and also kind of the ceiling here. Also got some cement on the ceiling as well and on the floor. And you can also notice that these two sections, although this is just one big space, this area is a little bit lower than this one right over here. You have a couple of steps and also a ramp here as well. And so yeah, just two metal doors with another ramp here. And yeah, just two windows. And actually right behind it, behind the tool shed, is this hallway here. And this hallway doesn't really serve any purpose. It's completely bare. In fact, it doesn't really have an actual finished floor. It's just grass. Just basically just brick all around. And so, yeah, a few windows here. You got some that overlook the roof of the tool shed. And you also got a window at the side here. And so this basically connects the hallway here and the vocational block. But really, again, connect isn't really the right word, because again, there's no way of actually accessing this space here. In fact, it kind of intersects with one of the windows in the vocational block here. And then right behind that is another kind of useless space, because again, it just doesn't, there's no way of accessing it. It's just another kind of outdoor courtyard space, just very small. And this is right at the corner where this hallway, it forms like an L shape, and then it connects to the vocational block. And so it forms this other kind of outdoor space. Without it, the drawing ground would basically just extend all the way to this area uninterrupted, but because you got these structures here, it kind of blocks this off. And so yeah, this is the left-hand side of the vocational block, the kind of male vocational block, the main vocational block, if you will, since it's the only one you can access in the game. And then other than that, yeah, it's just a lot of outdoor space here. So yeah, trees, a lot of vegetation. And much like other outdoor spaces, it is kind of broken up into different little sections via chain link fences, which do contain some doors. And so you can just access all of these areas with relative ease. So if you go through this door, you'll go kind of deeper into the drawing ground, more towards the vocational blocks, but if you go over here, towards where the prison is, you do have a staircase that goes to this underground area. Just some kind of mechanical area here. You have some water pipes. I think some kind of pump here, because there is a water tower nearby. So I'm guessing that's what that's for, but don't take my word on that. So, but yeah, again, pretty barren, just a lot of concrete. And also, the actual ceiling here is interesting because it looks up towards the ground level. So it's just like this, just like metal grating pretty much. And so you can actually kind of see some of the upper areas from down here, which I always thought was kind of cool. And yeah, and also chain link fences on this side over here, and it overlooks into another underground area. This one can be accessed from a staircase that's right across from the main entrance to the vocational block. And so this area is actually kind of flooded here. It's a bit lower than the main area over there. And so yeah, these areas are like separate. So like in the actual game in Outlast Whistleblower, the only reason you can access these areas at the same time is because you have these some of the fencing, the actual chain link fence has been ripped away, but normally this of course would not be the case. So this area can only be accessed by this staircase, and this area over here can only be accessed by that staircase. And you can't even access like these two areas over here, since they're completely closed off. And so, yeah, again, this all just kind of wraps around, so I'm just kind of showing you how this is all connected. You kind of got this area over here that really doesn't serve any purpose. It's just another kind of, basically another open area right next to the staircase over here. And yeah, speaking of staircases, you do have this other staircase over here, right on the other side of this area. And this leads you to the electric room. Yeah, so it's even labeled. In fact, I think we should actually take a look at that, because this is kind of the last underground area in the drawing ground. So I guess we'll just get this out of the way. So yeah, single door here. I've got more steps. And again, this kind of leads you to a kind of basement area. In fact, it's right below this set of hallways here. It basically just runs underneath it all. And as for what the actual purpose of this is, yeah, it's the electric room. So it's got some electric panels in this corner over here. And that's basically about it. It does contain a few hallways here. Yeah, so we've got some lockers. And so these hallways don't actually really go anywhere. Basically, it's all dead end. This one over here as well, it's just a dead end. So if you've been wondering about that, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. Same for this hallway over here that just keeps going on and on for quite some distance. Eventually also comes to a dead end. And so yeah, it's pretty barren. You just got some pipes running. Not pipes, it's kind of more like wires. So just wires that kind of run up alongside the ceiling here. And again, you got that metal grating, so it actually allows you to look to the above ground portion of the structure. And so yeah, just again, more of these metal grate doors. Just like this tile here, pretty nondescript tile, and just cement floor. So again, just another kind of maintenance related area here. And then yeah, danger, high voltage. So yeah, a lot of kind of electricity related stuff going on here. Again, we'll take a better look at that later. But yeah, more lockers, more workbenches. Even got some air ducts here. And then yeah, shelves, sink. So yeah, this just kind of screams maintenance area. Okay, so yeah, another outdoor space here. And this is at the very front of the vocational block now. And yeah, like I said, this is basically just another kind of courtyard area. So you got some benches, of course. Got these pathways leading you towards the different doors for the different closed-off areas. And of course, this takes you to the vocational block from here. Of course, that's not how Waylon actually accesses the vocational block in the game. He actually goes through the water tower. Again, more on that once we actually get to it. And yeah, so this leads you back towards this underground area. And yeah, this is actually going to lead us to this area over here. So yeah, danger, high voltage. Yeah, so this is kind of a, it's almost like a small electrical substation, pretty much. So it contains like, electricity, like generation and distribution, basically. Maybe also converts electricity to different voltages and stuff like that. So, you got like these telephone poles, also just different devices here. In fact, this one over here has been knocked down, so it kind of causes a short circuit here. And yeah, more electrical panels here. So yeah, it's basically just a little kind of electrical substation is what I'm calling it. And so it is closed off, so yeah, kind of closed off in its own little area, along with this this structure over here. And as for what this structure right here is, there's not a whole lot really going on in it. It's basically just a series of hallways here. It's pretty open, although it does have some areas that are a bit more closed off. And basically what I think this is it's basically just a way for the female patients to reach their workspace. So since this does connect to the prison block, as you can see over here. And so the idea here is that the patients that are staying in the prison block, and also even the female ward, they would basically use this to reach their workspace, which is the secondary vocational block, the one you never go into. And so much like this hallway over here allows the male patients that are either staying in the prison block or the male ward to reach their workspace. And so that's basically kind of how it really works. That's what I think this is, what the purpose of this is, because I mean, outside of that, it doesn't really serve that much purpose. And it's just basically just this hallway here, just at the boundary of the complex here, since back here you're not going to find much. It's basically just wilderness, pretty much, except for this chain link fence right here, which is really the true boundary of the complex. So past this point, it's just wilderness. So just more trees, mountains, and this very large boulder here as well. And so yeah, we're at the very back of the actual complex now. And so yeah, talking about the actual structure here, yeah, so it's kind of shaped like some of the other like sheds here. So it's got these windows here, kind of these windows that are grouped into three, with the center one being a little bit more larger. And you also got these kind of these long windows here that are like raised up, so you can't really see that well out of them, except for kind of some of the upper workings here, just like the tops of the vocational blocks, the water tower, stuff like that. And again, this is all above this this underground area. So yeah, yeah, more pipes here, and then just a lot of brick here. So yeah, some metal grate doors, and then a metal door. And so this leads towards the prison block. In fact, it connects with the prison block. So this is very close to where Miles was in the showers of the prison block. So he would actually be able to kind of see that from here, almost. Anyhow, so another kind of outdoor space over here. So yeah, more fences. Again, there's not a whole lot really going on over here either, since, again, this hallway does eventually form an L shape, and it prevents you from going further past this point. So right over there is the hospital. So hospital and recreation area. So it's right on the other side. Yeah, so you got doors here actually leading into the structure. More doors here. Yeah, this one leads you back to kind of the main area here. So yeah, more benches, more trees. Also another kind of, again, leading deeper into the drawing ground. And so yeah, making our way towards the back here, we have another door. So again, it is kind of closed off at different sections here. Again, this forms another L shape over here. And now we're heading towards the secondary vocational block. So another kind of main area here. So another entrance. This area is set up a lot like this area over here. And so yeah, more windows. Again, there's not a whole lot going on back here past this point. So yeah, another metal door, metal grate door, and then a standard metal door. And this leads you right, it's going to land you right next to the main entrance to the secondary vocational block. So more on that once we actually get to it. We just got the main entrance set up a lot like the other vocational block. So it looks a lot like that. So yeah, now we've basically reached the very back of the drawing ground. Past this point, there's really nothing here. So no more structures or other areas like that. It's basically all wilderness from here on out. So yeah, just the side of the secondary vocational block, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, just a single tree here. And so yeah, this area is closed off. And now we're going to kind of head back towards the front a little bit of the drawing ground, since that's kind of the path Waylon takes. And so yeah, this is all kind of, it runs up alongside the structure here. and so you get a very good idea of what it looks like. And so yeah, it just kind of forms like multiple like L shapes pretty much. That's the best way I can describe it here. So it kind of zigzags almost. I guess that's kind of the best description I got for it. And so yeah. And yeah, what's also really cool is that you can see the towers of the administration block all the way from here. So even though we're at the very back, you can still see the administration block even all the way at the back here, which is pretty neat. And yeah, just tile floor here, yeah, since this area stops at this point here. So it's replaced by a just a tile floor. And yeah, wood ceiling here. Again, kind of got these gray shingles here for the roof. And then over here, yeah, this is some kind of like drainage ditch over here. So it's just like flooded here. It's got some water pipes over here. And just kind of this platform here, which actually does have a ladder leading down into it. And yeah, so just a little body of water here. So yeah, more fences. And then yeah, just more outdoor space here at the left-hand side of the secondary vocational block. And you also have a structure over here that connects the water tower to the secondary vocational block. And so it's set up much like the other structure over there. So it just looks basically identical, except how it's arranged is different, since it's just a straight just hallway here. Just doesn't have any L shapes or turns. It's just basically goes uninterrupted from a door in the water tower to basically the wall of the secondary vocational block, since there's really no way of actually accessing it. There's kind of this opening here, I guess, but you can see it doesn't line up perfectly with the actual exterior wall of the vocational block. And then yeah, but speaking of which, yeah, this is the water tower. Now I have seen people claim that this is like some kind of like guard tower. It is not. This is actually a water tower, and I know from the exterior it doesn't really look like one, but that's because this is supposed to be a kind of an old-fashioned water tower. Now I'm sure most of you are familiar with the water towers, where it's basically just like basically this apparatus here, and there's a tank at the very top. But a lot of these old water towers, from what I've seen, they actually had an exterior basically to them. So it had like this exterior wall that wraps around this. So it's just completely enclosed. But yeah, again, it does make sense, since this building would have been constructed in the mid-20th century. So basically just a old-fashioned water tower. And so yeah, basically the purpose of this is going to going to be water storage, but also it would pressurize the water for distribution to really all the different areas in the complex. And so yeah, again, it kind of forms a circular shape here. And so you got a staircase that just wraps around the exterior boundary here. So almost kind of this spiral staircase. It's got a landing in the center here. And then at the very top, yeah, you just have this balcony area. And it just kind of overlooks kind of the center portion here with all the different pipes here and chains. And yeah, so there is a ladder going up to a upper portion over here. And you got windows here, one of which is opened. And so this leads you to an exterior balcony. And this is going to get you some very nice views of Mount Massive Asylum. So you can basically see almost every area, from the hospital to the prison block, to the male ward, to the administration block. And you can probably even see a little bit of the female ward from here. And so yeah, this is one of the highest points of the entire building. In fact, I think the only other area that's taller than this are the towers of the administration block. So yeah, very high up. In fact, it's even taller than the roof of the vocational block, which is how Waylon actually manages to get up here. Of course, he hops onto the scaffolding and falls down into the attic of the vocational block. And so yeah, part of this balcony has been torn away, as you can see. And so yeah, this is, you can see just how close the actual water tower is to the vocational block over here. Very, very close. And so yeah, it's a pretty substantial structure here. You can see that the water tower is very wide. In fact, it's even wider at the very top here. It kind of extends a bit out. And I'm not really sure how you're supposed to get up here as well. I'm guessing just through the windows, since there's no doors or anything like that. And there's also really no way of actually getting up here either. This is just the roof of the water tower. So it just has this very interesting shaped structure at the very top here. Just all brick. And so yeah, this is very, very high up. And so you can basically see, again, the entire complex from here. And so yeah, going back to the ground level, again, this is the door that leads to towards the secondary vocational block. And again, this is the main entrance to the water tower. So yeah, more chain link fences. I mean, you kind of got this little area that's closed off. And it leads into an area that I'm sure not many people are aware about, because you never go into this area in the actual game. So this is an area that's in between the vocational blocks and also the water tower. And it's very bare. There's not even like trees or anything here. It's just completely barren. You got another outdoor structure over here. So kind of a shed-styled structure here, which is actually modeled the exact same as the tool shed in the courtyard. So it's the same exact structure, and the proof of this is that it even has this roof that's been torn away, so where kind of Miles has to hop over it. It's got the same thing going on here. So they basically just copied it. I'm not even sure what the point of this is. Again, it kind of disconnects the two vocational blocks. But I don't know if there would be any doors here. Since this doesn't really seem like it. There's only the one opening at the one side, but that's it. So this would be where the classroom would be in the vocational block. And so again, it kind of digs deeper into the secondary vocational block. Kind of, I'm guessing that didn't quite fit, and that's why it kind of extends outward. But again, they didn't really need to worry about that, because again, you're not really meant to see all this over here. Since now we're very out here. This is basically, again, another boundary to the complex. There's nothing here past this point. So you just got just mountains here. And so again, kind of the left-hand side of Mount Massive Asylum. So this is the back of the male ward. And so this is where we are, just to kind of give you an idea. Oh yeah, one thing that is missing from this, it doesn't have the metal doors here. So there's 2 on each side. That's missing. But again, they just didn't really feel the need to put that here. For some reason, they felt the need to put this in, but not the doors. So it's just one of those kind of mystery areas. Like, what is the point of having this over here? But yeah, seems like we're pretty much done here. So yeah, again, the entrance to the not the drawing ground, the water tower is in its own little area here. And then this kind of leads back towards the kind of the main area here. So from here you can go towards the drainage ditch and the secondary vocational block. And over here you go back towards the other vocational block. And so then, yeah, the door to the electrical substation. And so I think that's basically going to be it. Yeah, I think I've given you a pretty good understanding of how the drawing ground is laid out and all of its different features. And so that means that this is going to be kind of our last main outdoor space. So since at this point really all we have left are the vocational blocks, the sewers, and the underground lab. And so yeah, there's really no kind of main outdoor spaces left. We've covered all of them. And so yeah, I will see you next in the vocational block.